Welcome, I'm John Fuller, creator of TruBBQ. Today I'll be showing you how to barbecue baby back ribs. What you'll need today, some basic ingredients. First off, you're going to need some baby back ribs. You need some mustard, barbecue rub, cutting board, sharp knife, dish, foil, as well as a tin foil pan, and paper towels. First off, with your baby back ribs, when you go to the butcher shop, you're going to want as even square rectangle as possible. Some will come down diagonally and be shorter one end and thicker at the other. When it comes to barbecue, thickness is key. You want to try to do even thickness throughout as possible. 2, when you first get your baby back ribs right out from the butcher, you're going to want to pat it dry. There's a lot of liquid and whatnot. You just want to pat it dry, clean it up. Both sides. And once you do that, baby back ribs are pretty much out of the box, good to go. Not much trimming like brisket or pork shoulder needs to go into this. You can take off some extra fat that might be hanging off, or trim if there's smaller bones on one end, trim those off. But for this wreck right here, this is pretty good. I'm gonna leave it. One key thing though that you do need to do is take off the membrane on the back, otherwise known as the silver skin. You want to take this off when it's not, you don't want to eat it. It's not good. It's like a thin plastic. You're gonna bite into the rib. It's gonna pull off on you. You're gonna take it out of your mouth or peel it out the back yourself. It's just not good. Not only that, this membrane is impermeable. Flavor will not get through the back end. Smoke won't penetrate it. And when you put rub on this, all your rub gets right off. So then all the flavor is gone. So you want to take this off at the very beginning. To do this, can be tricky, but it's not too bad. You need a knife underneath one of the bones and lift that skin up just a little bit to get a finger underneath. Once you get a good finger, you want to get a paper towel. Get that paper towel, get a good grip, and then just put pressure on one side, and then just lift that silver skin and rip it off. It might take a few tries to get this right, but it's not too hard once you get the hang of it. And then there you go. Now you got the membrane removed, and now you're ready to start putting your rub on. After you're done taking that silver skin off the back, next step is apply your dry rub. First, you want to apply a base of mustard on it. This acts as a binder for the dry rub to stick. It doesn't add any flavor, so don't be worried that your ribs are going to have a mustard flavor to it. No, it just acts as like a paste, as a glue for the dry rub. You can also use olive oil if you want as well, but mustard's a little bit, I just prefer to use mustard. So to start us off, I'm going to apply a thin coat of mustard. Just want to rub that into the ribs. Always remember, you're handling raw meat here, so you want to wear gloves as well as wash your hands consistently throughout the whole process. You can't wash your hands too few times. Just be aware of that, and also keep your workstation clean as well. Alright, so we got the mustard on here. Now the next is apply your dry rub. My favorite is a TruBBQ dry rub. It's my own blend of 12 spices. It goes great on pork shoulder and pork ribs, which we're doing today. Now you want to sprinkle this liberally. Don't be shy. You really want to get a nice coating on it. Now after you apply the dry rub liberally, it's called a dry rub, but you don't actually want to rub this into the meat. That's what the mustard is there for. Let the mustard do its job and hold the rub onto the meat. Now, doesn't mean you can't touch it at all. Go ahead and give it a little pat, press it down if you can. Oh yeah, that's nice. And then there we go, look how beautiful that is. A nice rub gives a nice beautiful color, as well as nice, great, tasteful flavors with all the different spices that I have in the rub. And then once you do that, the front side, you want to do the same process, but to the back side. You don't want to forget about that. Now here we go. Again, first step, let's apply the mustard. It's a thin coat. You don't need a whole lot for this to work. Since this is the back as well, it's more bone than meat. It doesn't need as much rub as the top, but again, don't be shy with it. Really give a nice good coating. Get all that all up in there. Also, don't forget the sides. Oh yeah, it's starting to look good already. Oh yeah, look at that. Now we're talking. And then there you go. Now you got yourself a nice dry rub baby back rib. Almost time to put it on the pit. Now once you apply your dry rub, you're going to want to put it in a tin, wrap it up, throw it in the fridge for 1 to 2 hours. You want to do this to allow the ribs time to absorb as many of the spices as possible from the rub. Now additionally, you don't want to leave it in there overnight or 5, 6, 12 hours. Ribs are thin. With the salt that's in the rub will pull out most of the moisture in the ribs, and if you let it sit overnight, next thing you know, all the moisture you'll find when you open up in the morning, a pool of liquid sitting in the bottom of your pan, and that's all the juice and flavor pulled out of your ribs, and they'll be dry. So overnight sits are more for bigger cuts like pork shoulder and brisket, but for ribs, 1 to 2 hours is all you need. Alright, well, we let the ribs sit for about 2 hours now. Now it's time to throw them on smoke. Alright, now we're about to throw the ribs onto the smoker. Sitting at about 237. It's a little higher on the range that I want, but since we're throwing it on the smoker and lifting the lid off, some of the heat's escaping, so that's fine since the temperature will drop. I'm going to put these down just like this, bone side down. If you're doing several racks and using a rib rack, it's fine. But just remember, when you use a rib rack, have them spaced out enough, because the closer that they're jammed in, the more you have to add cooking time to it. Well, we just closed the lid. Temperature is at 207. It's rising real fast though, since we closed it. It's going to sit around 225, 240 like I said. If it gets too high or too low, I'll adjust the vents on the bottom accordingly, depending if I need to go higher or lower. This is the first step of a 2-1-1 process for baby back ribs. Meaning, first step of the 2-1-1, 2 hours on there, got some smoke on there. After those 2 hours, we're going to wrap them for an hour, and then the last hour unwrap them and sauce them the last 20 minutes. Now, just enjoy yourself, crack yourself, open up a beer, read a book, watch some TV, make love to your lady, do whatever you like. Alright. Okay, so it's been about 2 hours now. Ribs have been in the smoker at a range around 240 degrees, which is fine. And they're looking great so far. You can see a nice deep red color that we got going in. That's what we're looking for. Looks so good. We're digging right now, but you don't want to do that because you still have some cooking left to do. They're a little tough. But we're going to tenderize them. That's what we're doing right now. In a 2-1-1 method, we're on the second step. 2 hours, first step. Second step is the 1 hour, where we're going to be wrapping them in foil, throw some brown sugar and honey, a little bit more rub on top, and then we're going to wrap them up. And pretty much what that's going to do is going to, with the juices, and then it's going to steam up inside the foil for an additional hour, and that's really going to tenderize them. They're going to be pretty much fall off the bone. What this process is for. So when we start off, we're going to start at the bottom, and we're just going to first just sprinkle a little bit of extra rub, just get that extra flavor profile on there. You don't want to do a whole bunch, just a little bit. And then we'll put a little amount of brown sugar. And I do the brown sugar, I'm going to do the honey. Now, the rub is a little bit spicy, and this is going to make it a little bit sweet at the end. Do the same thing to the top side. Sprinkle that little rub on there. Put that brown sugar on top. And finish it with the honey. Then once we got those on there, we're going to wrap it up. You really want a good, nice tight seal. You don't want any type of heat to escape. So there you go. Now I'm going to wrap all 3 racks just like same way, and I'm going to put them on the smoker, meat side down. Now when I do this, just it's a personal preference. I like to think that with the juices, when they accumulate on the bottom, that's where the meat side is. So then they'll get the majority of the meat instead of putting it this way and then the bone side getting the juices. So I'll go ahead and wrap all 3, and I'll put all 3 down, face down like that, and then I'll cook for about another hour. Alright, it's been another hour now. It's time to unwrap the ribs. I remember the ribs the first time for 2 hours, and then the third hour was we wrapped them up, and now this last hour we're going to unwrap them, throw them back on the smoker. Remember, we put all that good stuff, a little more rub, a little brown sugar, and some honey. And wrapping them, steamed them, and tenderized the ribs. Now look at these. Now that looks good. Hope you guys are getting hungry because I am. Now, you might ask, well, why not just eat them now? Well, they're super tender right now, and added some flavor with the sweetness of the brown sugar and honey. Now I want to throw them back on the grill. You want to do this to firm the outside back up. Right now we tenderize them with the wrapping them in foil. Now we want to put them back on the grill, tighten it up a little bit. Inside will be nice and moist and tender, and the outside have that nice firm bark that barbecuing is all about. You know, that bark is what we in the barbecue community call a candy. Here's something I like to do, a little extra. All this good juicy stuff at the bottom after we finish the wrapping and we put the ribs to the side, I like to pour some of it into a little tin, and then I mix some of the barbecue sauce that I use into it. Kind of amp up the flavor, put it to that next level. And like I said, I'll mix it with the barbecue sauce, and in the last 20 minutes of cooking, we're going to go ahead and glaze the ribs, but that's coming up. Still got to throw these back on for about another 45 minutes to an hour. Cool. Well, we finally made it. Ribs are done, and let me tell you, they're looking good. You can't smell them, but let me tell you, they smell delicious. Now, about 20 minutes ago, I sauced them with my TruBBQ barbecue sauce. Remember, also had the drippings from the foil in there as well. You want to do it the last 20 minutes because there's sugar in barbecue sauce, and sugar burns. And when sugar burns, it gives off a bitter flavor as well as turn black on you. And you don't want to ruin the nice, beautiful red, dark, deep red ribs with black burnt barbecue sauce. So what do we have left? We have nothing else but to start carving into this, start cutting off the bones, and well, the favorite part of barbecuing while we're all doing this, so we can eat. Oh yeah, look at that. Looking good right there. Well, that's some barbecue ribs right there. Got the nice pink smoke ring on the outside, just what we're looking for. Nice glaze of the barbecue sauce on top. Now this is some good eating. Now I have to warn you, when you're making delicious barbecue that's this good, people are be coming out of the woodworks just for a taste.
Holy.
Lou? What are you doing here? I haven't seen you in years. Thought you were dead.
Heard you were making some ribs. Award-winning at that. Can I have a one?
Yeah, but you need to get a plate.
I'm ready.
Oh, wow. All right, well, there you go.
Thank you, sir.
No problem. I mean, surprised to see you. Whoa. Where'd you come from?
I heard you making ribs.
Yeah, I got some ribs right here. You want some? You bring up a plate too?
Yeah, my name's Jimmy.
Hey, I got gloves here, but
Okay,
hey,
can I have some ribs?
Yeah, sure. Here, you can have these.
All right. What's this? A dog?
Award-winning ribs at TruBBQ. Go to the Facebook page, like them on Facebook, find them on Twitter. John Foley, the creator, bringing TruBBQ the way it should be done. Absolutely delicious. Grab a plate.
What is this? Oak?